I'd like all of you to sit with the back straight, close your eyes, align your body and your breath. Breathe very slowly and deeply. Infuse prana shakti to the body. Allow the prana to center you to the present moment, to the now. Nithyanandam paramasukharam kevalam jnanamutim Vanjvatitam kakanashatrisham Tattvamasya laksham ekam nityam vimalamachalam Savadi sakshi bhutam bhavatitam trigunarahitam Satguruntam namami. Let's hum the Mahavakya. A very warm welcome to all of you, all the attendees of this 18th Enlightened Parenting session today. So let me just give you the context for this session, how the topic came about. It'll be interesting for some of you. See, last Sunday, on the first day of Navaratri, I was sitting with Swamiji after I finished my yoga, as usual. And suddenly he showed me this is going to be the topic. I was like, are you really sure, Swamiji, this topic you want me to say? And he was very sure that he wanted me to talk about this topic because it's too juicy a topic or too controversial. But anyway, if that's what he showed me, so I'm going to deliver this topic. Okay? Please understand, in this session, so much healing will happen at your being level. Understand? You're not just listening the knowledge only. Tremendous healing will also happen. And especially we are now in the period of Navaratri. And it is no surprise or coincidence that this topic was picked by him. Because it is a topic that which is very, very close to the core of who we are, our being. When you don't know about your gender identity, so much problem can be created in your life just by one confusion being inserted in our consciousness, which is about gender. Understand? So through this session, you're going to be receiving the knowledge from Swamiji based on the Vedas and Agamas in the form of the Tantra. So I want all of you to provide your listening because it's a topic which is very dear to every being, okay, who are here. Because if you also are able to make the shift and the completion and the healing happen in you, you will be able to replicate that in the kids, whether you are a teacher, Gurukul teacher, acharyas, or you are a parent by yourself, okay? Whichever role that you play, you will bring so much healing to the kids because the world needs this knowledge. Just a few days ago, Swamiji was talking, in fact, 2 days ago, he was just talking about the Vedic tradition, the knowledge from the Hinduism has so much to contribute to planet Earth, because all the life solution, all the cure from all the suffering, disorder that we have in humanity can just be simply melt down if we understand from the source of this right knowledge. Okay? So I'm going to dive straight into this topic. So let me just repeat the topic which I'm going to cover today, which is about, do you know how to give the right context of gender identity to your child? What is sexuality from the enlightened consciousness? Okay. So this is the topic which will be covered in this session. And then after that, after I have delivered what the important key messages and understanding, I will open to the floor for Q&A, question and answer. And then we'll take it forward from there. Okay? Is it okay with everybody? If we are okay, give me a thumbs up. Yes. Okay, you should know, a part of my past life, Tantra was always in my biomemory. That's what I discovered. Okay? So in my past Janmas, I had done a lot of work on Tantra. So this birth, when I assumed this body, I have just asked Swamiji to awaken that biomemory again. Okay? So when he delivered the Tantra workshop last year, it's like something familiar for me. It's not something totally like new to me. It's like something I felt that I'm able to relate to that, what he was talking about. So from that context only, I'm sharing this topic. Okay? So let's enjoy. Okay. So let's get into the topic, the subject itself. So first thing you should know, in Vedic tradition, the Vedas and Agamas declare that there are 11 genders, meaning 11 genders exist, not just 2 genders or 3 genders that we know in the society, male, female, or maybe gay or lesbian, what you commonly told by the society. Okay? So Swamiji says that in the entire world population, only 7 are completely male and only 7 are completely female. That makes up about 14%. So the remaining 86% belongs to other genders. Okay? The other 9 genders, which are not actually commonly spoken. But in Vedic tradition, we accept the 11 genders and we celebrate them as they are. Okay? So understand that the 9 genders are based on the different permutation of your gender identification, which can be classified in 4 levels. Okay? One is the physical level, physiological level, psychological level, and your will. That means the conscious will, your conscious self. What is the gender you're comfortable with your physical body? 4 levels. See, your physical body. How are you comfortable with your gender in your physical body? That's one. Second, how are you comfortable with your gender psychologically? How you think about being in a female body or in the male body. Third, physiological level. How comfortable you are with your gender identity through the physiological layer of your existence. And last, how comfortable you are with the conscious level. That means being aware of.
Vous êtes confortable au niveau, je sais plus quoi, la conscience qu'elle a dit.
Maya Maria, we can hear you. Yeah, can you just mute, please? Yeah. Okay. So these 4 levels, the different combination, permutation makes up of the remaining 9 genders. Okay, understand? So basically what Swamiji defined, gender is the totality of your identification with your physical body, psychological layer, physiological existence, and your will about you, how you feel about you. All these 4 levels, how you feel about the totality of these 4 components, they put together is your gender. Okay? So you need to know it's not just about physical, right? It's not just if you're born with a female body or male body. It's more than that. But the society only can pigeon you as, or you have a female body or you're born as a male body. That much they only, limit us to our possibility. So that's why in Vedas and Agamas, we are asked to be a celibate. That means refrain for any sexual activity till the age of 21. That means before 21, do not engage in any sexual activity for the purpose so that you can realize your true gender identity. You have to discover it yourself. You can't be told by society, oh, you're a male body, you're a female body. This is how you should behave. This is how you should think. No, we should actually identify our gender after a complete diagnostic process and exploring all the 4 components: physical, psychological, physiological, and the conscious level. After that, when you come to the complete process of the identification of your gender, then you'll be existing at a different level because you're so complete with the body and how you exist in this plane. Power manifestation becomes very easy. You manifest a lot of power. Okay? So that is one very key component about why we should explore before we come to the conclusion given by the society. Unfortunately, society does not have this true understanding. Society is stuck in a very rough middle-class mentality, a mediocre thinking of just only 2 genders. Now some society are only starting to accept the 3rd gender. Before that, anything besides male and female is deemed as, up in the society, and they are condemned. They are punished for being not a straight male or female. Now only some society are coming out slowly only to accept the 3rd gender. But in Vedic tradition, 60,000 years ago, we already have such an evolved, rich understanding about gender. So you must understand what society has done to us because it's unconsciousness. The very first sexual abuse by society, okay, is they push the idea of male and female into your system. You're made to believe you're a male or female by force because of someone else's belief. That's the first abuse done to your consciousness, to you. Okay? Then the second thing the society did to us is not letting us understand that they don't have the ultimate solution. Society is ignorant. They don't know what to do with it. When they don't know, they try to teach you. That is the most scary thing. They try to guide you and force you to fit into what they believe. So they try to push something that's not time-tested, there's no foolproof understanding, there's no depth, not from the powerful cognition. When all these are forced into us to digest, that is what Swamiji classified as the worst child abuse. Okay? Which is the idea that you're male and female is unconscious identity. When you don't have the energy and courage to be a seeker, to recognize yourself on your own independent intelligence, if you tolerate this label given by the society, by others, whether a male or female or lesbian, whatever may be, this is the first abuse done to us. And the very first danger that we have been put through. Without encouraging us to explore, seek, identify our true gender, and somebody pushing their idea into you or into us, and that is the worst thing, a lot of damage done to us because of the wrong identification. Because of this wrong identification from the start, okay? Another complication sets in. The second damage that we are subjected to, I'm not saying everybody in this case, Swamiji says that one of the biggest problems is we have allowed somebody to explore our body, or you have explored somebody else's body without the right context of gender and sex. So when we don't have that, with a wrong identification to begin with, given by society, due to certain powerless cognition, and then we build this wrong gender identity, and then obviously from that space, we try to engage with another body below the age of 21. Okay? So, see, below the age of 21, where Swamiji talked about the gender identity, how the identity is trying to get built in the first 20 years of your age. It is like a mercury, the metal, the liquid metal mercury. See, mercury can not be kept in the golden pot. It will just melt. Mercury can only be kept in the stone vessel. In the stone vessel, when you pour mercury in it, then you become solidified. Same way, before a child or a being reaches 21 years of age, our system is not stone vessel, it's not solid yet. That's why he said, wait till 21 years of your age. After that, you have much more understanding about your gender. Then, if you decide to explore, to, engage in whatever activity which you are comfortable with, then there's no danger, okay? So making a child believe sex is the ultimate possibility and pleasure and goal in life, which is what, this unconscious society is trying to push in a lot of medias, unconscious way of hinting the images they project. So when the child rushes into that with the hormonal gush, that means once they reach puberty, all the psychological, emotional, physiological, physical suffering that the child goes through with the world, with the society, due to the irresponsibility of the generation, which is supposed to be responsible, but they did not take the responsibility. That is the real sexual abuse and child abuse by the society. Understand? And many of you may have already identified. You are one victim of this sexual abuse and child abuse at a very young age. How a lot of unconscious ideas were pushed into you. What happened when you have that? You create a lot of guilt, a lot of wrong ideas. That starts all the whole mess. So ideally, all the children should be made to understand till the age of 21, till you become emotionally, psychologically, mentally, and consciously capable of handling you, your body, your mind, others' body and mind. Everyone involved directly or indirectly in this whole act, or who are going to bear the brunt of this side effect of this act. So all that the kids should be aware. So educating a child to be responsible for their body and mind and its effect on themselves and others is the real education we should provide to the kids. Not trying to shun away a topic like this, not trying to think that this is a taboo topic that should not be taught, you're embarrassed, or you don't even know how to even give the right context, understanding. That is the reason why in Hinduism, we're very clear. Till the age of 21, absolute celibacy, because celibacy is the foundation on which your mind and body can flourish and flower beautifully. When the gender identity is getting developed, getting shaped, during that period, you should be left alone to explore, to actually work on yourself, to know what is the different permutation, the 4 levels of permutation I talk about: physical, psychological, physiological, and the conscious level, which is your conscious will. This 4 level. When you are in that 21 years of age, you play with the different permutation. Understand? That's why in Gurukul, the Vedic learning system, the first 7 years of a child's age, they normally live with the parents. After 7, they are sent to the Gurukul to be with the Guru. Okay? And you should know that, especially in the first 7 years of a child's life, do not force them to believe they are male or female. Give them the freedom. Let them recognize on their own. So allow the kids to live like a free being with no association of male body or female body. This is a fundamental understanding of a child should be given by the age of 7. Swamiji says that by 7, the child should start to learn about the 11 genders. What genders he feels comfortable in the physical, physiological, psychological, and conscious level. He should start exploring the multiple permutation, combination, and feel and discover for himself or herself which combination makes him feel at ease, resonate, that he can resonate. He feel, I know me, this is me, understand? The I know me part should come from within, not from outside. Where he manifests his highest possibility, where he manifests his highest power. Because he said that he has seen again and again in Gurukul, the kids who manifest a lot of powers are those who feel comfortable in their body. That's why at least till age of 21, they should not be allowed to explore them, others' body, or let others explore them. Okay? So what happened when parents don't take responsibility? When the parents do not take responsibility to help the kids understand this part of the biggest puzzle. Understand, a wrong gender identity is the seed of many, many suffering and problems. Perversion. Perversion related to food. Perversion related to addiction. Perversion related to sexual orientation, complication. Sexual identity crisis. Even middle-aged mood swing and all the boredom and downness that you feel, everything is linked to this gender identity, this wrong gender identity. Whether a person is highly sexed or undersexed, that means not interested in sex, a person who is a womanizer or suppressed, any powerlessness or complication in the level of sex and sexual fulfillment or the sexual desire, sexual guilt, any problem we go through with sex fundamentally starts with gender identity. Okay? So it's like the very first lesson the child should be given. If it's not done properly, that starts the whole mess in one's life. I'm sure all of you can relate if you look back in your life. What happened when you were not given the right understanding from the enlightened consciousness? What suppression you went through? What guilt you created? All that. Swamiji went on to describe, when your gender is properly identified, all the sexual problems just melt down. They just disappear. No longer relevant, no longer having a power over you. All the multiple disorder related to eating can be cured completely. Whether you are anorexic or whether you are, bulimia or this kind of eating disorder can be healed. And also multiple disorder related to drug addiction, any kind of addiction, can be cured completely just by this one proper solution of your gender identification, if given the right understanding. So understand, you just look around the world where we are seeing now. So much perversion, so much of wrong images being projected to the kids at a very young age. No wonder, as a humanity, we can't evolve. We're stuck. So, for parents and teachers, for you people who are attending here, okay? If you look back in your past, what has happened to you in this topic of gender identification? Whether you are always feeling confused, you're feeling frustrated because, you know, there's one part of you that you don't feel that you're totally female, you like to rough it out and you like to, you know, like to play with the boys and all that, or some part of you feel that you want to, you know, even a male body, you feel that some part of you don't like those aggression and violence by some of the male kids. Whatever you are feeling, all this kind of, I call displacement, feeling uncomfortable, okay, all that in your childhood days. Which gives you a lot of confusion and also a lot of negative emotion, whether it's guilt, whether it's anger, whatever may be the emotion which comes from this displacement of how you feel as you. Okay? So those of you here who are already above 21 years of age, of course, every one of you, and you feel that you have fallen into the category whereby you have allowed someone to explore you or you have explored others' body before 21 years of age. Do not fall into the guilt. Just sit and go through every incident and go for the completion. Those of you who are not clear what is completion, you could go and check it out, Swamiji's video on science of completion, Punatwa. So go for the completion. See all the understanding, false identification, misinterpretation, powerless cognition, which got inserted into you. All that create all the mood swing emotions that you are going through. Pen it down, all the effects and side effects of this, what do you call that? The abuse done to you. Okay? Go through the whole thing and complete it within yourself. So that is the thing that all parents and teachers should do if you have been, I would say, I would consider that sexual abuse. It means all the ideas given to you wrongly and you have explored about other body and you have allowed others to explore your body. Do go for the completion. Okay? Because if you want to manifest power, you want to exist as the highest frequency of Paramashivatva. This is one big key you have to open. You have to complete. Okay? So, as for kids, if you are already a parent, for your kids, please do not sexually abuse them by forcing them to believe they are male or female. Don't tell them, hey, you should only wear pink. Hey, you should only wear blue. You're a girl, you cannot do this. You're a boy, you cannot do this. Don't give them all these ideas by you. I want to share with you, I want to share a picture of Skanda and Mata, how Swamiji is bringing this divine enlightened child. Okay, I'm just going to share that. You see her picture. Okay. Can you see? There are days she's dressed like a girl. There are days she's dressed like a, like a boy. Just, there's no sexual identification at this age because she's only 3 years old. Okay? So she's free to live as who she is, and there's no idea put into her. Okay, can you see the picture, all of you? If you give me a thumbs up, if you're able to see the picture. Yeah. Okay. That's the way in the Vedic tradition. Kids should be brought up in the first 7 years of their age. Don't give them ideas about their male and female, how they should behave, how they should sit, how they should eat, how they should dress. All that are just given by society. Especially, I don't know about other culture. In Chinese culture, there is this strong biasness towards male body. For generation, the female bodies are the suppressed sex, the suppressed gender. So we are always being considered as the more inferior gender than the male. So traditionally, because the male carries the name, the family name, which means the family tree gets continued by the male body, and it means the son. Whereas the daughter do not do that, because once they get married away, they follow the husband's family. So the Chinese have this strong belief that they always prefer the male, the son, more than the daughter. They even have this description. The daughter is like the water that is poured away. Like a pail of water you pour away. That's what they consider daughter. So these are all wrong identification of gender and make a child born in a female body suppressed, angry. And all the boys get well treated. They don't have to do any housework. It's only the girls have to do all the things for the family, including cooking, washing, taking care of the siblings. All that the girls have to do. The male, the son live like a king. They just play and be a rascal. So like this only equates so much of hatred, anger, negative emotion just between gender at a very young age, just because the parents' unconsciousness. How many of you can identify this? I think in the Chinese and the Indian family, it's very, very prevalent. Okay, I don't know about other culture in Europe and French, but I know Chinese and Indian. Okay. So that's the reason why that starts so much of incompletion and also suffering at a very young age, just by this one wrong concept of male and female. And it's a legacy that has continued for many, many generations already. It is time we break this stupidity, ignorance at our level. Do not pass the same old karma to the kids now. But you need to learn. First, you need to complete whatever damage has done to you, so that you break this karma and you make sure that you don't do the same, abuse to your kids. So that's a main thing that will help them to explore and discover their true gender identity. Allow them to explore in the first 7 years of the age. Okay? Don't give them the idea in the first 7 years, and then after 7 years of age till 21, the 14 years, let them explore, let them play around with the different permutation. See, in the Tantra, it says that you need to recognize your aham, your will, by playing with your multiple possibility, your multiple permutation. Sometimes you can try that, you become a physically male, but physiological female, or psychological gay. So all the different permutation. Sometimes you may try to be psychological male, physiological female, but physically gay. All the different combination. Just try to play with it. So during this period, when the child is exploring till 21 years of age, they should be remain as celibate. That means no sexual activity, because they're exploring something within themselves. Okay? You need to be with yourself. You cannot go and hang out with another person to explore, because you're still in the process of discovering you, your gender identification. Okay? So when you do this with the given freedom, the freedom to be, to celebrate, to be able to have the space to discover you. Then, the moment you're able to find that, see, those people who are blessed, knowingly or unknowingly, they remain celibate for the first 21 years of their age, okay? You would have built the best foundation for your existence. Understand? Those who did not have that abuse or exploitation done to you, and you live in the pure space in the first 21 years of your age, where you're not physically explored by another body, or you did not go and explore another body, you would have built the best foundation for your life. Okay? Because this foundation is going to be helping you to basically raise your individual consciousness. Okay? Your individual consciousness, why don't you use the Sanskrit word Prakya Atma Chaitanya, right? So finally, you would settle into any one of the 11 genders category, which Paramashiva describes. In that process of exploration, you will discover you, where you feel this is you. Okay? However, for people who did not have the luxury or the blessing to have the space to explore, when they get into this wrong sexual identity or gender identity, what happens is very easily they will be hooked into the sexual greed, the greed of the sexual greed. Understand? When you're hooked onto the greed of being greedy for sex, you are easily exploited. Okay? Which means it is a powerless space. Okay? So that's why in the Vedic tradition, a lot of emphasis is given to the gender identity, the completion of the gender identity. See, after exploration, and you finally discover the experience of your true identity. And that's why in the Vedic tradition, we have a deity, which is half Shiva and half Devi. Okay? This is the state of Adarishwara, okay? Which is the state whereby the ultimate symbol of the completion of the gender identity. You have seen a deity which is half, the right side is Shiva, Paramashiva, the left side is Devi. That deity is called Ardhanarishvara, okay? That deity is embodiment of completion of gender identity. Now, if some of you feel that you have sexual identity or gender identity problem, she can be a deity that you can pray to help you to do the completion of the gender identity problem. The liberation from the gender crisis. Okay, this is the beautiful form that Paramashiva takes to show completion of the gender identity. He assumed the form of Ardhanarishvara, okay, to help people recognize that you are not just male or female, you are both, embodiment of both. Okay, and when you achieve the completion of that identity, you simply manifest all the powers of both the Shakti and also the consciousness, the superconsciousness. Okay, I'm just going to show a picture of the deity I talk about. Okay. This is the deity, which is half Shiva and half Devi. Why Shiva come in this form is to express the completion of gender identity. Okay. So let me just conclude. Thank you, Swamiji, for making me, talk about this topic, but I really enjoyed it. So let's chant the Buddha mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sovam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Paduka Panamastu. Om Nithyanandam. All right, good night. Nithyanandam.